Look what came in the mail today. What is this I see? Oh, very nice. Got some nut strips here. Uh-oh. Some tie-in brackets. Hardware kit. And some dang-a-lang-a D-rings. A Tricota inch. Couldn't figure out already. I got myself a rear bumper. Told me to get bumping, mate. Ah, yes, look what finally came. After going through the box, I found out I was kind of missing something. I'm like, this isn't right. I'm kind of missing the part that mounts the bumper to the body. So I called up JCR and told them my issue, and they didn't have a problem with it at all. They sent me two brackets out, priority mail, and got to me pretty quickly. So now I have all the missing pieces. So that's cool. The other thing that I just got that was on back order is the reverse lights. They actually had a deal where if you order a rear bumper and use one of their promo codes, you get the reverse lights for free. So fuck it, $140 for free. That got me to buy it. So it comes with a little plug and a little bracket. Pivots back and forth. Then you bolt it on. Pretty simplistic. They're a lot deeper than I thought they were going to be, but it's almost all heatsink because the light stops like here. So this is all just heatsink. And it comes with a wiring harness, which looks a lot like the Chinese harness that I got for my headlights, actually. The connectors are different because the lights are different, obviously. But my dad got a light bar for his boat, and it looked a lot like this. Had the little on-off switch. And then at the other end, you got a quick disconnect for the switch, I think, and a relay, a fuse, and some battery terminals. I am happy that the fuse is a standard American style and not their weird Chinese kind, because I hate those. They go bad very easily off-road. So, the first part of all this fun is to take the old bumper off. I've already taken this off once before, so this should be a lot easier. But, you know, I'll give you the lowdown. So, up top here, you're going to find two bumper brackets. Alright, one on this side, one on that side. That'll have to be removed. You're going to have two 15mm bolts on each side. I snapped that top one the last time I took this off. Taking it off this way is going to be a lot easier, faster, and more beneficial. You can also attempt to try and take the bumper off the bracket, which good fucking luck. There is a bolt here, and there's a bolt back there, which I think you get through up here. Yeah, that bolt. If you can take both those bolts, you can take the bumper off the bracket, but you still gotta take the brackets off, so I don't know, see what you can do. But I'm just gonna take it off from the brackets. Alright, so here's the lineup of parts that it comes with. You get 8 big washers, 4 big bolts, 6 smaller bolts, 6 smaller washers, 6 smaller lock washers, 6 nuts for these bolts, and 4 nuts for those bolts. From the size of it, it looks like the big bolts go through here. So you got 4 of them. And then these 6 probably go through here. And then I'll have to figure out what the washer combination is. But, yeah. And I also got some nut strips since my Jeep never came with a tow package. So they'll also make putting everything together a whole lot easier. So, here's our test fit. Seems like it does the job. It's a bumper. It's on there. The bolt holes look like they line up pretty good. So, Fuck's given zero. I think it's time to start painting this bitch. The sun just came out. It's going to be nice and warm. So I'm going to give this a quick scuff, and we're going to put down some paint. Go into the paint shop, yeah. So, here's my thing. So, this should keep the bumper in a way that I can spin it and get all the angles I need, hopefully. Hopefully I can get to the bottom and the top. So, yeah. My paint of choice, I'm going to upgrade and go a little better this time. We got some Rust-Oleum Professional. So I got their regular primer and their black gloss high performance enamel. So I'm going to try these out and see if they do a better job than the method I've been doing before, which was self-etch and then some shitty other kind of paint that just comes off with the slightest little anything. So pretty simple. You put the primer on. 2 light coats are better than 1 heavy coat. They can go on about 2 minutes apart. And then the primer can be top coated almost immediately. So I'll let them sit, and then I'll prime the other things way over there. So here's the rest of the shit. These things make great paint hangers. So they're all just dangled around, and I should be able to get to all the angles I need to. Alright, now it's time for the black. And now the black. So there's the bumper. It's all black now. There you go. Gonna let it dry and then we can put it up. Take your nut strips. Look at which way the corner faces. This little L is gonna go in first, and the corner faces out. So that one will face to the left, and then you got your 4 bolts you got to put in, and they're sometimes a pain in the ass to start, but you'll get them. So angle it in and go to town. Push it on in there and bolt it up. These things are going to go on later, but I don't know which way they face, so I'll let you know when the bumper's on. Next up is your bumper bracket bolts. If you ever want to replace these, like I broke one, you're going to want a 10 millimeter bolt with a 1.5 millimeter thread count, or however the hell it works. It's a 10 by 1.5. So that's what you want. These were wobbled out a little. They're like triangle shaped to help them hold in so they never fall out. But these bolts that I got should do just fine. They fit in there. So for the bumper brackets, you want the circle to face down and in towards the body. So they'll fit on like that, and the other one mirrors it. So bolt that on loosely so you can still adjust it. Okay, now let's put the bumper on. Oh, that thing's heavy. Not as heavy as the front bumper, but still kind of heavy. Some of the paint got scratched off because of when I let it sit. I brought it in, and when it warmed up it got sticky again, so I'll just have to touch it up real quick. But now the fun part, putting those bolts in there and then adjusting everything so that this lines up, because you notice this side sticks out and the other side probably sticks in. Yeah. So you want to do that and then get a jack and tilt it and raise it and all that good stuff until it lines up the way you want it to, and make sure your tailgate closes. That's also kind of important. Okay, so something cool with these cutout holes for the LED lights. Perfect spot so you can see the bolts, and if you have tiny enough hands, reach in there and tighten them up. And the other side, the high lift jack points, that give you a good little view so that you can see the bolts, the nuts back there. So now that they're on there, you get to have fun sliding everything around and getting it just right. Okay. Transmission jack finally came in use again. But it's looking pretty good. So now we just tighten down these guys and it'll be locked in place. Awesome, dude. If you don't regularly work on monster trucks all day, you might want to pick up some 15/16 fucking sockets or wrenches or something. because most smaller 3/8 sets do not have this size. They stop at 7/8. So you'll need two 15/16 somethings. I used a breaker bar to stick on the back, and then you just take this guy, put it in there, and go to town. So there you go. Now, when you lower this, you got yourself a bumper, mate. She ain't going nowhere now. She's locked in. Got a nice gap there, and it's about even the whole way. Stops nice right under the tail light. It's even on both sides. It's dead, Jim. There you go. Cool. Now you get to tighten up the nut strips and put on these tie-in brackets. Now that we did this, I wonder if it's easier to figure out which direction they go on. Okay, I guess the nub points inwards. Okay, now you take off the first two nuts and slip it on in. Alright, hopefully you didn't toss any of that extra hardware, because you're going to need some of it. So you're going to need one of the two of the small bolts, a lock washer first, then a regular washer, and then one of the nuts. Now, the way that this spacer is designed, you can put it in either direction, and it depends on if you have anything else that will bolt to the unibody frame down there. If you don't have anything, you want the spacer, the little gap, up so that it actually, spaces it away from the body so it'll fit. If you have stuff already on there, put the flat side up, and then make sure... Actually, these things are centered just about, so I don't know... I don't think it matters what side they go on. But for me, I have the spacer up and the little dinghy facing inwards. So it's gonna look like that. And then you're just gonna put your nut over there. Wherever that thing is, right there. Then you can tighten it all down. Hi. See, that's the lip I'm talking about. Alright, cool. Today's lesson will be how to waste tons of time putting on a rear bumper. Hey! This lovely LED light, isn't it so nice? Let's just fucking put it in there and mount it in and fucking just, go to fucking town. Right? You fucking put the bumper on and you gotta put the light in and the light doesn't fucking fit. Ugh! And don't even say to try and put it in through the bottom, cause that ain't gonna work there, boy. Not a single dung there bit. God fucking damn it. Damn it, Jim. So, if I want them LED lights on, I gotta take the whole goddamn bumper off. Hopefully I can just, slide it a little bit and put it through the back, well, that sucks. The dick. So, last step for the bumper. Well, for you, it should be somewhere in the middle. You need to mount your lights. If you notice, I opened up the bracket here a little bit because it didn't quite fit the way I wanted it to. These things aren't exactly perfectly aligned. They could go a little deeper and a little left or right, but whatever. So you're going to take your small bolt, your washer, lock washer, and nut. You want to put the bolt through first, and it's a pain in the ass, but I put the nut on its side of the bolt and then slide it in like that. So then you drop that in the hole, get it where you want it, and tighten it down, get your angle right, and then loosen it up so you can get your bolts back in. Unless you want to put the nut on that side, doesn't matter, but I'd rather have the nuts facing inward. I'm just tapping into my old KC harness, but I'll give you a quick lowdown of this. This kit functions a little differently than the one that I bought. It actually runs off the reverse lights, the stock reverse lights, so they give you a relay. You get a green wire. That green wire runs all the way up to the hood for positive power.
The blue one I just added, that'll be for a switch so I can activate it. This black one over here to the right is ground. I just grounded it right up here next to this taillight ground. Then you got a white and a red. The white is what activates the relay, and that comes out here and taps into the reverse light. So you just look through the wires, find out which light's the reverse light, and then tap into the positive feed of that, and they give you like a little clamp thingy, a little vampire clip. So, and then the red wire just is the positive for the lights. Now the old harness had a ground for each light, so I grounded it at each tail light, but I didn't feel like doing that because it's a pain in the ass if you got to take the tail lights out. So to make sure I have a good ground that's inside the cab, I took the lights and put them where I needed to at the bumper, ran the wires, and then just cut them straight off. You got a positive and a negative in there. So the two positives I have soldered together up there, and then that just runs to the red wire in the relay, so that's the positive feed. And then the two ground wires I ran up here into a clip, soldered it, and that is now grounded too. Okay, final step for the reverse lights is to add my own switch, because I want to be able to turn it on by myself if I want to. I want to be able to have it completely off, and I want it to be able to turn on automatically with the reverse lights. So the KC harness already did the last part where it turns on automatically with the reverse lights, and since those were only like 55 watts, they weren't that bad. So this is the stock wiring harness here. In the middle you got the relay and where everything goes. So I decided, since these LEDs are so bright, there are times when I don't want them on. For instance, when you're in the daytime or maybe in a parking lot or something, you don't want to blind somebody when you're trying to reverse. So here's the modified version I have here. The two things you'll notice that I changed are, first with the lights. The lights used to be grounded just right next to the body, and now I added a wire and grounded it next to the relay itself. So that's the first modification. The second one is I'm cutting the green wire off from the relay here, and I'm adding a switch to it. So when we come over to the switch here, if you notice, I got it mapped out. There's 4 different terminals. 2 of them are basically grounds. They both go to the same exact thing. So that's where the power is going to go, and it's going to supply to these 2 terminals, and these are going to do 2 separate things. When you turn it on, it's only going to activate this terminal. And when you hold it down, it activates both terminals. So if you come over here, now you notice this middle terminal right here, 87A, that'll be on the right terminal. So when you hold it down, it'll turn it on. And then this one will go straight to 30. So that way it'll just work automatically. So if diagrams aren't your fancy, then here, look at these wires. So I have the 2 green wires that originally came in the kit, and I now have this new black wire. If you notice, I used 2 different color style terminals here. One's blue and the other 2 are turquoise. The blue is the feed wire, the green is the automatic, and the black is the forced on. So I cut out a switch hole here because there just happens to be a very convenient spot there that you can put that, and I think that's for something, power mirrors or something. And here's my switch. This is a stock Cherokee switch. If you notice, it has a hold option and an on option, and you might be familiar with that because it's your wash and your wiper. So I dremelled out a hole there, so I'm going to put the center console back on and connect these switches and test it out. Okay, so here's the 3 modes of the switch. Currently it's on off. Nothing will work. If you go to the hold down mode, you'll notice that that works. Sort of. And if you turn it on, it doesn't do anything. If you turn it off, it also doesn't do anything. So now, let's switch this into reverse. So now, holding it down still turns it on, and having it on turns it on. Having it off keeps it off. So let's put it just to the on position. And now if you notice, when I switch it out of reverse, it shuts off automatically. So basically you have off, on, and auto. So those are the 3 modes there. So it's finally all together. There's the bumper and the reverse lights. They're pretty fucking bright. I'm impressed. That'll really let you know what you're backing up into. And I got the D-rings facing the thing facing in so it doesn't create a big shadow on it. I'm impressed with it though. I like it. Pretty cool. So here it is. Final product of the JCR Crusader rear bumper for the XJ. So bolting it down, I got a decent line there. Couldn't quite jack it up as far as I wanted because it was hitting the taillight mount right in there. But I'm okay with this. The hard part was trying to get the lights to fit in the holes square and even and make it look good. You notice this one's a little crooked and everything. It's really hard. I had to drill out the light brackets a little bit so they could scoot more because they were a little off center. But besides that little detail, it's pretty good. I'm impressed with it. I'll have to touch up the paint here and there because I was scratching it when I was putting it in, but I like the way it looks. I like the way it connects. And overall, I'm very happy with the purchase. It's nice and strong too with the uniframe tie-in brackets and all that. I like the nut strips. That was a really nice idea. I'll have to zip tie this wire up out of the way. Still hangs a little bit. And you got a decent little work area now if you ever gotta put stuff down or anything. So I always put shit here. So it's nice and flat all the way down. There you have it. JCR Crusader rear bumper for the XJ. Lovely. Thanks for watching.